Okay, let's try this again. It shows everything's working on my end. So let me know if you guys can hear me okay, because there's no point in talking if you can't hear me. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to hop on and let me know if you're still having connectivity issues. I'm going to jump on over here. And see if we can connect the sound. Let's see here. Okay, it shows that we got sound. So let's see. I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to re-pop on. I'm sorry, but it's showing it's working. So today is all about money. And if the title is any indication about how sassy I'm going to be with you about this, let me know if you can hear me. I see people popping on again. If the title is any indication about how sassy I'm going to be about this, like, this is the reason America is in crippling debt. This is the reason people are living paycheck to paycheck. This is the reason people deal with anxiety, stress, overwhelm. And I'm going to show you the way forward in order to fix it. So yeah, today is all about money. I met with and I have 6 pages of notes for you guys, so it's going to be a big one. I met with my colleague, my financial advisor colleague, and we decided when I brought this to him a year ago, I said, hey, this is what I want to do. I see everyone struggling with this, people posting about on Facebook all the time, their money woes, their financial struggles, using words like money is evil, there is not enough of it, money is limited, I'm broke, I'm a shopaholic. They're fearful of their bank account, not sure what to do with money. They are guilty spenders. They use retail therapy to try to patch the issues that they're having. WTF is going on with money? Like, they're not understanding how taxes work, what the difference between a mortgage and renting. There's no clarity behind their finances. They're fighting with their spouse about money. And so, hold on, let me tag people again. So, Brianna. I'm tagging people because they were on here and they couldn't see me. So we're in a different one now. So we're hopping on here. There is a lot of negativity around money though, and it spurs a lot of issues. Now, I want to talk to you guys about that. It is very important for you guys to have some clarity around money, to have some understanding around money. So today is all about money. Why you feel like you don't have enough, why it's a negative taboo topic, why you are struggling day in, day out, and your reality and your growth forward. When I met with my financial advisor colleague, I was like, this is what I want to do. I'm going to go forward with this, and how can we tie you in and work together? So I'm going to be talking about in a couple of minutes, like what we're going to be doing here. I'm going to dive in real quick about my experience with money. It started when I was 3 years old. And at 3 years old, my mom would bring out her little change jar, and we would actually go through the money and we would sort it, and she would talk to me about the value of it. Fast forward to 8 years old, and I was opening my own bank account, because all the way from about 5 years old, I started doing chores and making money. And at 10 years old, I had about $800 to start in an account with. And my mom took me to a local credit union, and she's like, I want to start a savings account for my daughter that has, good interest rates, interest yield. And so we did that. And I was really, really excited. And I told my mom, I was like, I want to make more money. So it set me up with more chores. I started babysitting. Fast forward to graduating from high school, I then started figuring out what I wanted my major for college to be. I knew I wanted to go to college. I knew I wanted to go in the business route, but I had to start looking at my pre-major. And that's really when I decided I'm going to dive into finance. it's a passion of mine, like how money works, how the stock market works, just everything about money. So I ended up getting my 4-year degree in business finance. I graduated magna cum laude from there, from California State University. And it was such an amazing experience. And it also brought to light how little people know about money. I was going to go into the financial planning route, but then the market tanked right when I was graduating. So I went the corporate finance route, and I learned how to handle corporate finance. And so I did that for about 3 years, quit on a whim because I was so unhappy with my job. And then I started in this route, and I started financially coaching people, as well as starting businesses and helping people get their self underway with their finances. So I brought really corporate and personal finances. Today, we're really going to dive into the personal finance route. So really, my whole life has been one huge experience about money. And what I'm finding is the root of our habits and our behavior starts from when we're children. What are we taught about money? What are the feelings behind money? When we don't have these conversations on a daily basis, we don't understand where our money is going, and it's gone like that. And we get into the term of what's called deep shit, because if we don't have clarity, we borrow to try to fill these voids. And then all of a sudden we're swimming in debt. We're filing for bankruptcy. We're foreclosing. We have massive amounts of debt that we cannot even keep up on. So money seems scary, right? Because a lot of us don't have clarity around it. And when I got my degree, I found out how few people understand the difference between mortgage and renting, the difference between retirement accounts, how to invest and grow yourself. And it seems extremely limited when we think about money. It's like, well, I have this one check and I have to make it last until the next check. And God forbid I'm put out of work like we have been. And so the thought of trying to survive has become very tedious and overwhelming for people. And so today I want to be reviewing the myths of money and the truths behind those. So I want to help grant you some of that clarity in order to move forward, as well as we're going to be reviewing an action-oriented program to move forward. So I worked with my great colleague and friend, financial advisor, Michael, and we have addressed everyone's pain points with the necessary action in order to move forward. I want to discuss really quick about this program. It's called the Money Mindset Makeover. And what makes this different, because there was a lot of programs out there. I actually know someone who's running a program right now on money. But the thing is, she's just diving into the mindset part of it, but there's no actual execution. It's pretty much like, just feel good about money and it will come your way. But the problem is, these people are swimming in debt. They need action-oriented debt elimination to move forward. And it is very stressful trying to figure out, well, how am I going to make money come into my life when I'm scared of it, when I'm fearful of it? And so with my background and with Michael's background, we've put together what's called the Money Mindset Project. It's a 3-step process in order to educate, gain clarity around your lifestyle. Starting with childhood, it starts with mindset training and saying, well, how did you feel about money? What was there any education? Did you just have to learn on your own? And then going forward to actually planning and executing. So the whole program, you have budgeting sheets, you have spending plans, you have a monthly budget as well as yearly analysis. So you can see where your money is going. And then we teach you how to do value-based budgeting, which I'll be talking about today. We actually assign those values, as well as there's a workbook on the whole mindset and starting to budget forward. We also have debt elimination in there as well. So we teach you a tactic, you apply it, and you start paying off your debt immediately. And then lastly, the huge part is the growth implementation, which starting today, whoever purchases, you will immediately be sent to Michael. And this is part of the price of the program. I told him, I said, I want these individuals to receive financial planning from you and wealth management and assess like their assets. So you will get 3 months of what's called the blueprint, where he walks you through where you're currently at and where you want to go. So you bring goals to him and he helps you financially execute those. You get that for 3 months included, which is over a It's almost like $150 value for that. Most people feel like they don't have access to a financial advisor until they have a lot of wealth, and we'll be talking about that today. And this is your access. So I'm going to go ahead and post the program. This is the Money Mindset Makeover. You get all of that, as well as we are currently working on a training program. So you're going to be doing budgeting on like a hand basis, like you're going to be typing it into the computer, but we're actually working on training right now with this platform that integrates it all for you. So once that's released, people that have purchased it will automatically get it. And I will send an email to everyone that's purchased the program already and say, this is now live and you can start using this program with the price of this. So there's many facets to this, but that is a quick review. I'm going to go through the myths now, and then we'll recap and kind of discuss a little bit more in depth about this program, because this is your action forward. This is the way for you to say, I'm sick and tired of being in debt. Now I'm going to actually take action in an effective way versus just sitting and ho-humming and pretending they lost the credit card bill, or pretending you weren't charged interest that month, or pretending more money is going to come into your life. More money isn't going to come into your life until you actually take action and you move the pieces in order to grow yourself and implement it. So this like fires me up like to the core. I know I say that every week, but this is like my education and this is my whole life. And it had been a while before I was ready to release this because I wanted to educate you guys on all of the different facets. So then when you step out of this program, you are so financially ready to take on the world that you're like, nothing can stop me. So that's what this program is about. And we're going to be diving into it more, but this program is your end all be all for financial execution and financial intelligence and becoming that financially fit individual you've always wanted to be. So yeah, let's get going. So today we're going to review the 6 myths of money. Everyone has preconceived notions. It's either been doled out to us by society or it's been reiterated to us by our families. We have this thought, we have this belief. So the first myth number 1, living paycheck to paycheck is acceptable. No, it's not. And that's not normal. People should not live paycheck to paycheck. They often use the term more money, more problems. That is a mindset issue because when you get money, you automatically try to expel it. And we're going to be talking about this in the next myth. But the truth behind this is living within your means towards growth is the way you can live abundantly. So you may say, okay, this is what I have left over for my personal and my food expenditures because I've already paid myself. The solution to this, to not living paycheck to paycheck, like literally spending every dime you have on bills or on food, is by basic budgeting and what's called a value-based model. So a value-based model is dependent. Everyone's is different. Everyone's top 5 values are different. And within this program, we actually go over all the values and you pick your top 5 and your spouse goes over all his or her values and they pick their top 5. And then you come together and you determine your value system in order to know how to budget. And this is the beginning of your growth. It's essential to have a budget, a basic budget, so you can feel aligned and make wise money decisions. If you have money come into your account, it will automatically disappear because you don't know where it's going. I know, like when I have cash in my wallet and I'm just like, oh, free flow. And all of a sudden I'm like, wait, it's 2 days later and that cash was gone. That's because when you're not very clear about the picture of how much money you have and the debt that you have that you need to pay, that's when you become confused. And that's when you are living paycheck to paycheck. That is not normal. And so having that basic budget and what's included in that budget is essential. You have to pay your housing. You have to pay your utilities. You need to pay your credit card debt, but you also need to do something what's called pay yourself first. We have, my husband and I'm going to give you kind of a breakdown of our finances. We have our mortgage. We also have we had, and this is really exciting, 2 years ago, we had 52,000 that we were starting to borrow in student loans. We now have 2.5 years later, we now have 10,000 because we have put our energy and we have budgeted it. And it's not coming due till November, and it will be paid off by November because we have implemented such a strict strategy in order to get it paid off. And guess what? We will have paid 0 interest. That money was borrowed free of charge because we know how to budget and manipulate the system to make credit work for us. And we're going to be talking about that soon too. So how budgeting works is when you develop a budget, and if you buy the program, you get the budget and you already get the mathematical equations implemented. So when you type it out, it'll automatically balance it for you. This is what's called a balance sheet. And a balance sheet is your income minus expenses. And at the end, it should be zeroed out. Does that mean you're living paycheck to paycheck? No, that means you have allocated all of your funds accordingly. And that pay yourself first, that should either be in a stock brokerage account, that should be in savings accounts, money markets, high interest yielding accounts. We go over all those in the program, but wherever you can pay yourself in order to grow. My husband, so he has CalPERS, which is a pension program. If you are a teacher, if you're in law enforcement, you have this, as well as we contribute to him a Roth IRA that is post-tax. So we're getting some pre-tax income and some post-tax income. At 59.5, you can start withdrawing on your retirement. Does that mean you should start like what, 40? No, we're going to talk about that too today. But so we have a Roth IRA. I have a traditional IRA to balance the two because pre-tax, post-tax, traditional IRA is pre-tax. So when I draw the money out when it's time, I get taxed on it. As well as we have brokerage accounts for both of our girls. So what happens is they have money and they have it invested every single month. And when they turn 16, we'll be able to afford the new car for them, both of them. They each have an account. My husband and I, we want to buy a cabin in the mountains. So we have a brokerage account that's going strictly to that. And we have it not just in savings because brokerage accounts, stock exchange accounts will yield higher interest. So we're making our money work for us. We put a little bit in there every month. We only put $50 in and it's working for us and it's accumulating, it's rapidly growing. Then we also have a life insurance policy for my husband and my girls. This is what's called PERM life insurance policy. Why did I do that? It's not because I'm anticipating their demise. It's that, which I know that sounds horrible, but sometimes you have to be very blunt when there's money involved. But you have to, what we're doing is when it's a PERM and there's cash value to it, guess what? At age 28, they can take that cash value out, which is $25,000, and they can put a deposit down on a house. So we have built in all these mechanisms on top of our bills and paying down debt in order to make our money work for us. When you budget, you can make it all happen. And I will tell you, half of the time in the last 2.5 years, I haven't been working. I was on bed rest with Mia. And then when she arrived, things were very chaotic, as you've heard in my other lives. And I was very sick for a period of time. I had hernia repair and I'm diagnosed with endometriosis. This was all one income. Okay. This isn't like we're making millions. Matt makes a good living, but he's a police officer. We're building wealth, but we aren't like rich. Okay. So this isn't like, oh, that would be nice. This isn't applicable to me. No, we have put some pieces in place to work for us. And so our wealth is rapidly growing. Okay, so then with budgeting, when you budget things, it should zero out because you're paying yourself in these mechanisms, as well as a strategy called debt elimination. What is debt elimination? Well, that pretty little credit card that you got and it was so shiny and it felt like it was free. Yeah, that's good faith. You have to pay that back. So you have to implement a strategy, and we talk about this in the program. It's either a snowball or an avalanche method of paying down your debt. Most people have multiple credit cards, multiple loans out, and so you have to come up with a strategy in order to pay all of them off. Does it mean all of them will be paid off tomorrow? No, it does not. And I'll be talking in a little bit about some strategies around credit cards. So this kind of segues into the next myth. Of the myth is money is evil and limited. And I had someone one time post on, it was on Facebook, and they were like, I just hate money. It's all of the world's problems. And if I could just stay at home, I would be happy. And I'm like, well, what would you want to do if you stayed home? She's like, well, it's just not possible. She wasn't opening her mind to it because she was automatically closing herself to the dollar figure. Money is not limited and evil. And I'd seen her talk about it too. Money is just so evil. It just rules our lives and it's just killing us. The truth is, your income and how you leverage it is the gateway to every goal and dream that you will ever have. Whether this is being on a beach in Bali or having a cabin in the mountains, owning your own home, being the first person in your family to own your own home, whether that means living debt free, whatever that looks like to you, money affords you that. That is your ticket. That is your way to say, I did all the things I wanted to do. Does that mean you're going to do it tomorrow? No, but that's how we leverage our money. This creates, when we think of it as evil and we start to resent it. Money is just a thing. It's just a tool. It's just a resource. The reality is you can be happy utilizing it. You can get the things your values are based on and line them up and create that perfect life for yourself. So many people said, I would be happier with more money. It's not more money. It's your clarity around money and your feeling around it that you really need and desire. When you think money is evil, it automatically creates resentment and you can feel completely unfulfilled because guess what? You will never have all the money in the world. No one will ever have all the money in the world. So what happens is when you truly hate it and you get some of it, you immediately try to expel it out of your life as quickly as possible. Because, well, why do you want something that's evil? I hate black licorice. It's not in my house. Imagine if I hated money. I'd be like, get it away from here. When we think that way about money, it's never going to come to us freely. We have to be willing and open to accept it. When utilized properly, money can actually grant you everything you truly desire. You have to get debt-free over here. Awesome. Super budgeters. See, there's a reason you have to have clarity behind money. When utilized properly, it can get you everything you want in life. Money is potential. Money is a resource. Money isn't the happiness. Your happiness needs to come from all of the values lining it up. The money itself doesn't make you happy. Like when it's exciting when you get something new, but that's often a fleeting feeling. Sorry, I have so many notes here. We have to adjust our mindset that's often built up when we're children and educate ourselves around money in order to properly appreciate it, in order to utilize it. Money is a tool and there's a way to leverage it no matter how much you have. And it can grow over time. We often think that paycheck is the end all be all to our finances, but what you're getting and trying to hold on to for dear life won't last. Money won't last. It will always be used for something. It always has to be used for something because our society, it's the resource to buy things that we need, like food, like safety, security. Those are values. So if security is a value for you and you don't have a place to live, you're in the unaligned category, right? So making sure that you understand what it is you truly want based on your values, you can utilize money. So stop thinking, and this is the whole mindset that we dive into in the program, stop thinking it's so evil and it's limited and using it to your full potential. Make it work for you. If that means investing in your business and growing your business, that is growing yourself. You're investing in yourself for growth, to grow that money exponentially. We are saving tons of money right now for Matt to go to helicopter school in order for him to get his certification and get his license so he can go make more money doing that and something he wants to do. And guess what? That's a value for him. That's freedom for him. That's one of his values, is freedom to be able to do what he wants when he wants. He's on day 6 of 16-hour shifts right now and he's done. He's so spent. And that's because he's not living aligned. If he loved that job, he'd be like, yay, I get to go to work today. And he's like, ugh. So, and half the people live like that. And that's because they see money as evil. And that's really the root of it. And this segues into the next myth, myth number 3, which is credit cards will lead to bankruptcy. This is, I hate this. I hate this because it's not, yeah, I'm really excited for him. Credit cards will not lead to bankruptcy. It's your mismanagement of credit cards. Credit cards are actually a good faith offering in order for you to leverage yourself or your business for growth. I had someone tell me they were starting a business. They said, well, I need to save the money first. And I'm like, well, if you're wanting, 16-hour shifts are horrible. If you're wanting to launch this today, but you're waiting for this component, you need to leverage something that you have. So I know with Matt, when we go to buy a business for him, we're going to be utilizing and leveraging our equity in our home in order to advance ourselves, because most people don't have $1 million in their pocket, right? You can use your assets, you can use your equity in your home, you can use your things to grow yourself. That doesn't mean spiraling into debt and saying, well, I got 5 credit cards, I'm going to go buy purses and I'm going to go buy shoes. Really, what you need to focus on is growth. How can I take this money and make more of it? So it's actually, and that's the great thing about a credit card, and I get these all of the time, no interest credit cards. So if I have money that I need to move around, I move them to no interest credit cards. And so I actually am bought free time. If I didn't have the money, and this happened a few times in the last few years because I wasn't working, we had just taken out $52,000 in student loans. I was putting all my energy there, and we needed something, an expense came up and we didn't know it. So I utilized a credit card on no interest and bought myself 15 months. So credit cards are not evil. And I want to get on a little tangent real quick about Dave Ramsey. I have never met a financial person, a financial professional, me being included, who loves Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey thinks very, very small. So, and I have read his books. I have gone through some of his courses because I want to understand his ideology. He thinks very, very small. He's like, live within your means. Don't buy a house unless you can own it. Has he ever seen a house in freaking America that was, like 20,000? No, that was a long time ago. We have to be able to utilize what's called our credit and our credit rating. And that's built up, guess what, with credit cards and with car purchases and things like that in order to leverage ourselves. You're not going to live in an RV for the next 20 years until you can afford a home. You're not going to say, I'm not ever going to have a credit card, because you're living very, very small. If you learn how to leverage yourself and utilize your money to grow your money, you will actually grow way beyond his Dave Ramsey model and his Financial Peace University and all of these things. Do I feel like that's a good starting point for people who are in crippling debt and filing for bankruptcy? Yeah, I think that's a good idea. But this is for people who are in debt, who want to get out of debt, and who want to correct their mindset and actually grow. The pay yourself first method and what's called the latte factor, this is a David Bach philosophy, is people say they're broke, but then they're going to Starbucks every morning and paying $5. Imagine if you took that $5 over 30 days, what is that? $150, and put it into a money market account and made a lot of interest on a money market account. Imagine how your assets can grow. And that's just by 30 days of withholding. Is one of your values coffee and an experience like that? Or is it a cabin in the mountains? Like for us, we are withholding in order to put it towards things that are actually aligned with our values. Your solution here is to shop around for the best rates. Utilize no interest accounts and cash bank offers. You can open up an account, get $200, stuff like that. Leverage yourself based on what is being presented to you. That doesn't mean you go and apply for 10 credit cards today. It means saying, okay, I'm going to use this offer because this is actually a very good offer, and I'm going to put some money into here. This is great if you're swimming in credit card debt and you need to transfer some money to buy yourself some time. I am a no interest nut. I use no interest cards all the flippin' time. And our credit score is over 800 because we have used our money and moved it strategically. And I show you within the program how. This segues to the next myth, myth number 4. You need to start a retirement once you're in your career. No, you do not want to start your retirement once you're in your career. The truth. The earlier you start your retirement, the more quickly it will compound and grow, leaving you with more. The average 18-year-old that goes and becomes an electrician and immediately starts applying and puts money into the retirement, they can retire millionaires. You don't have to make $1 million in order to keep $1 million. It grows over time. And how a stock account works is you put it and I don't invest my own money. I used to. When I worked at the discount brokerage firm called Scottrade, I would invest my own money. But if you don't understand debt to assets and there's lots of different components, you can actually lose your money. So I send mine to my financial advisor. And I tell them this is kind of, I'm looking for long-term growth, or I'm being really aggressive. You build this spectrum, and you actually, they'll invest it for you, and they can grow it over time. If you're giving just even like $50 a month, think about what that'll compound to 20, 25 years. So you need to leverage yourself starting today. Never start a retirement account finally once you're in the career of your dreams. Start it when you're in your very first job, and you go to them, and that's what I want you to say. You go to your employer and you say, do you offer a 401k? Do you offer IRAs? Do you offer pension plans? Whatever that looks like. When people don't ask these questions, a lot of times they're not going to get the answers. So that's what you need to go do. You need to go to your employer and say, I want to start investing, because guess what? That $25 you really won't miss. You really won't miss. And that, it's 25, 50, 300, whatever it looks like. You can either, and some employers actually will do what's called a 3% match. So if you give $50, if that's less than 3% of your pay, they'll contribute $50 as well. So they're actually giving you more money. And so this is a way to start growing your retirement. You need to get in the game today. So ask someone. I am self-employed. I run my own business here, as you can see. So I have what's called a traditional IRA, and I contribute myself every year. It's same thing with a Roth IRA. You can contribute yourself. A 401k is strictly employers. Go seek it. And then if you're like, I don't really know what to do, I don't know how to invest, if your company doesn't invest it for you, that's when you can go to a professional. And if you purchase the program, you're already sent to the professional, and you can continue the conversation after the 3 months that's included. And that 3 months is that planning and gets you set on the route to that growth and that financial wealth. And then you can actually invest with him if you choose. And then this segues into myth number 5. Money management only matters when you make a lot of it. I have seen doctors who are filing for bankruptcy because the amount of money itself isn't the issue. The management and clarity behind the money is what is the issue. Hold on, I'm sorry. I talk like so fast, so I get so thirsty. The truth. No matter how much or how little you make, starting with $1, if you make $1, you need to budget it and assign it accordingly. That dollar has a value. That dollar has a value of where it's going. Is that $10 going to your latte, or is that $10 going to paying off a credit card? This will make you able to leverage your money so that you can grow it beyond its immediate potential. That is also known as what I just said, the compound effect. So take a little bit of money, earn a little bit of interest, earn a little bit of interest, earn a little bit of interest. That money will grow exponentially over time. So money management starts right when you get it, and that's with a budget and paying yourself first. The solution for you is budgeting effectively based on your values. What are values? Values are the things that are important to us. Is that health? Is that wealth? Is that freedom? Thank you, Amanda. Is that freedom? Is that college? Like, do you want to send your kids to college? Okay, if you want to send them to college with zero debt over their heads, what are you doing about that? Are you contributing to a college fund? Are you contributing to a stock account? See, I didn't do a college fund because the rules are very rigid, like a retirement account. What I did is I created the brokerage account, so then we can invest and we can pull money out as we need. Because if we use it for their cars, then we can also use it for their tuition. Because we are lifelong learners here, and education is important to us. And education right now was $52,000 for my husband. Imagine what it's going to be for our children. If you want to send your children to college, you need to start planning for it today. My daughters were both 6 months old when they had their account started. And so we've been contributing a little bit of our money every single month, and it's not missed. Imagine what $25 will do over the period of 18 years. But in the immediate, $25 isn't that much, but it will grow, and we'll be like, guess what? You get to get your new car. Guess what? You get to go to college debt free, and you get to start your life out without being crippled by debt. So when you have those values, and like I said, in the program, we discuss every value possible, and you actually go through and you check it off. So then you can make sure that when you line up your budget, you know exactly what it is you're striving for. And everyone's value is different. I can tell you until I'm blue in the face, go do this, go do this. But if it's not something you really want, guess what? You're not going to make money for it. You're not going to have a budget for it. That brings us to the last myth. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not just dragging on. But myth number 6, money cannot buy happiness. And I hear this all the time. The truth, money can help us be the people that we were meant to be. Money affords us the ability to donate and to help a church, to help a nonprofit, to help people that are lesser than us. Money is what it is when it's in the hands of who it's in the hands of. If someone's evil and they get money, they're going to use money for evil purposes. If someone is intrinsically good and they want to do good with their money, they are going to do good with their money, and the money is good. The reality is money is a means of trade, and it's the ability to do the things you want to do in life. Just like how corn and animals were back in the ancient times, that was a method of trade. Money is a method of trade as well. It is neither, good nor bad. It won't make you happy or sad. The difference is when you use it for things that aren't aligned to who you are, that is when you will feel negative about it. And so many of us, and I did this, and so because I know I was so miserable in my last profession when I was at the marketing firm because it was such a hostile environment. So what I would do, and I would feel like I was treating myself and it was wonderful. I hated what I was doing, and I hated the money I was making because I just hated the job so much that after work, I would go and buy myself something to alleviate that pain. And then I realized, why am I doing this? I'm killing myself. And so I told Matt one day, I said, I'm quitting. I can't do this anymore. And guess what? We quit and we went down to one income and we survived, and we actually were doing better. You know why? Because I wasn't using retail therapy. I was spending more than I was making because I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. The minute I quit, it took a weight off my shoulders. Does that mean I'm telling you to go quit your job today? No. What that means is that you want to make sure that what you're doing is making you happy, so you don't feel like you need to go into retail therapy, that you don't feel like it's just a job, that it's your calling and it's your purpose. Every day I work on this. It's my calling and my purpose. I got up at 3 a.m. the other day because I was so excited about this program, and I was putting all the materials together for you guys. And I was like, this is my calling. If I can help pull people out of debt, I am making an impact. I want whatever it is you do, whatever industry you're in, to make it feel like an impact. And it doesn't matter how much money you make. You're fulfilling your calling. So money can't buy happiness, but what you do can. And the things that you apply that money to the value of can make you happy. So money is neither good nor evil. It does not equate to happiness or sadness. It is only a means of pursuing who you truly are. And I think you're pretty badass, and I think you can pursue anything you want. So what are your values? So what would be a great idea is to sit down and write the 5 values. If you're not purchasing the program, write down the 5 values that are most important to you and put them in order, number 1 to number 5, number 1 being the most important. And that is to then take it into your budget that you're working on and say, am I using my money to make me truly happy? So those are the 6 myths. Let me read them again. Myth number 1, living paycheck to paycheck is not acceptable. It's not okay. Money is not evil, and it's actually not limited. There is an infinite amount of money in the world, and how we can obtain it is important. Credit cards won't lead to bankruptcy if you manage them very effectively, and actually can be a means for starting a business, growing a business. You need to start a retirement ASAP, like tomorrow. Okay, maybe not tomorrow because tomorrow's 4th of July, but Monday. Money management starts today. No, if you make $1, it starts today. And then money can't buy happiness because you have to pursue your own happiness. So those are the myths. Now we're going to move forward. How do you move forward away from these thoughts, away from these feelings, and away from these current actions? Number one, do the mindset work. I want you to sit down and I want you to dive into how you were raised and what you truly feel about your money. Okay. Does money excite you? Are you scared to check your account? What did you see growing up? Did your parents have tons of money? Did they blow it? Was it financially tight? And they said, we can't afford that. We can't afford that. And they were scared paycheck to paycheck. How does money make you feel today? Are you excited to go and pursue it? Do you hate it? Do you envy it? Do you resent it? Are you in a dead end job because you feel like you have to make it? And then how do your spending habits reflect your thoughts on money? Are you a retail therapy shopper because you just hate it so much and you're like, I just need to get rid of it in order to get something and I feel like it's worth something? So the mindset work is the beginning stages of your foundation. You can do a budget until you're blue in the face, but if you don't understand your thoughts and feelings on money, guess what? Your money will continue to disappear. So that's number one, do the mindset work. Number two, build a basic value-based budget and start living in alignment today. Does that mean you're never going to pay your credit cards because that wasn't a value for you? No. What it means is that when you pay yourself forward, put it towards something that excites and exhilarates you. It's a lot easier to put money towards it if you do. Income versus assets is the idea of balancing, income versus debts is the idea of balancing the two for every dollar. So living paycheck to paycheck means now to you, not living paycheck to paycheck, but allocating every dollar towards a purpose, whether that's paying yourself and putting it into a money market account, or whether that means paying down your debt to grow your wealth. Whatever's left over. So if you're saying, well, I'm just going to leave my money in an account and see what I have left over to pay myself, guess what? It'll get spent. It'll 100% get spent because money just dissipates very quickly when we don't have clarity around it. Living in alignment means putting life's priorities first and aligning the first three frames. The three frames are your moral compass, so your responsibility, the things that are important to you. Number two, your goals, where you want to go in life. And number three, your behavior. What are your habits and your behavior around money and around your life? So that's when you understand, when you put those three components and those three frameworks together, that's when you can live in alignment and budget accordingly. So what I want you to do is I want you to stop living other people's lives and other people's standards. If you hang out with people that have a boat, have a brand new car, have the nicest purse, have their nails always done, their hair always done, and you can't live to that standard and you feel like you're always trying to chase that standard, those probably aren't your people. And maybe you need to do a little bit more mindset work. What is your thought? What are your thoughts and feeling around money, and how are you applying it to your value-based budget? So number one, mindset work. Number two, build a basic value-based budget and live in alignment. Number three, get in the game. Okay. Michael uses this term all the time. Get in the game. The name of the game is to get in the game. Begin paying yourself first. So that's a savings. So say one of your values is experiences and travel, but you don't have a savings account to travel. Well, how are you going to travel? So what I want you to do is I want you to create a savings account or a money market account, whatever that account is. And I want you to start putting a little bit of money away, little bit that makes you feel comfortable, and grow that over time. You pay off a credit card, guess what? That money that was allocated towards that credit card goes there. Because guess what? When you go on that trip, you're going to get the momentum to do bigger and better things with your money because you're living in alignment. Number two, get in the game with retirement. Go on Monday and figure out what it takes with your employer to get into a retirement account. And then number three, investing. That's what's called a stock brokerage account. I can hook you up. Once you're in the program, you automatically get hooked up with the financial advisor, and it does not matter. You don't have to have a ton of money to do this. Okay. Like I brought him $50 and I said, we're going to start the account. You'd be amazed like how little you can start with. So get in the game with savings account, retirement, and investing. Then also adjust your spending habits immediately to reflect your values. So if you aren't working towards the things you love, then why the hell are you working, right? You're not working because that loaf of bread made you happy, Okay. So like you're working to survive, but you also need to work towards growth. And then start investing to leverage your income. So like I said, the name of the game is to get in the game. Also, if you're like, well, I want to leverage myself further, another genius thing to do is start a side hustle that you're passionate about and pursue those values. Something that was passionate, like I was passionate about, and I wanted to create an extra flow of income because I have income streams coming from about 5 different places. A couple of them are passive, a couple of them are active. When I have money coming in from different places, it fulfills different needs. And when I had Ava, I was in a very, very dark place. I had postpartum depression. I was really struggling. And I saw this coach and she kept posting and she had really great body. And I was like, okay. So I was like, what is this whole thing about? And it was Beachbody. And she's like, yeah, you can actually make money on it. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't even know about MLMs at this point. Okay. And so I started that, and it started as my own journey, and it became a passion for me. And I actually make money on it every single month because I have a team of women that are willing to invest in themselves and in turn invest in me. That is a side hustle. It'll always be a side hustle. I'm not going to make $1 million off of it. That's not what it's about. It's to fulfill my health and fitness journey, but I'm making money while doing it. But this side hustle of yours has to be a passion for you. You're not going to go and get Plexus and like not even use it and then try to sell it. It has to be something that's important to you, that's passionate to you. My health and fitness, especially being diagnosed with endometriosis and going through all my health complications, is more important to me than ever. And that hits a value for me. My health and the health of my family is actually number 1 on the spectrum of value-based budgeting. So I make money. I make sure I have money for my fitness programs. I make sure I have money for my Shakeology. My side hustle is also one of my values. So guess what? I'm living in alignment. And that's why I'm good at it. People are like, oh, you have to be salesy. I'm like, no, I just post my journey. And then people are like, how did you get those muscles, And I'm like, well, this is what I'm doing. And then people join, but this is something that's like true to me. This is something that's important to me. So start that side hustle, and you can imagine what like an extra $500 a month can do. That's what I make from that $500. It's not bad. And then so you're living within those values, and if that will make the business easy, and then it's my purpose and my passion. And then seek professional advice. So what you need to do to get in the game is seek help. And within this program, you are automatically getting that help. So you're getting the help from me to help you get that roadmap going. And then you're actually getting one-on-one attention to grow yourself. And that's what the whole value of this program is to grow yourself. I am all about putting people in a well-managed, wealthy place. I have no doubt that every single one of you could not just live paycheck to paycheck, but live wealthy and do the things you want to do. But that starts with taking action. We have to act. It's amazing the things people can afford, and they say, well, I can't afford a program like that. This is your stepping stone to afford all the other crap that you think you need. And once you go through the mindset work and start assessing, and I'm going to post the link again. Here it is again. So you don't even have to scroll up. Once you start assessing what it is that's important to you, it will all tie in together, and all of a sudden money will start flowing in from places. You will have a different belief system about it, because within this, so what's included is you get a budget. You get a goals and strategy plan. You get a debt elimination plan. And within that budget is monthly budgets as well as yearly budgets that are tabulated. So right when you enter, it'll automatically populate. And then you can see where your money's going and how much. You're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize we were spending that much money on food, or I didn't realize I spent that much money on hair care this year. And maybe that's not important to you. Having that clarity is extremely important. And then we're also going to be diving into the mindset behind it, starting with childhood. And then today, and we're going to connect the two and act forward. And it's a large workbook you're going to get. So you can do it a few times. You get these materials for life. So that budget sheet is yours to use for the rest of your life. That workbook is yours to use for the rest of your life. This program is a one-time fee because I want to give you the tools. Most people don't understand the tools. You'll look up on Pinterest and be like, this works, I guess. No, this is everything compiled into one. And that's why this program is so successful. And then at the end of it, you're actually going to get plan execution. So you're going to get 3 months of the blueprint, and that is financial assistance through the 3 months. So he's going to say, okay, this is where you want to grow here. These are your goals. We're going to line them up with a strategy for you. So you don't have to have the degree in order to know what to do with your money. You're going to the advisor to help you, and it doesn't cost you a dime. You've already purchased the program. So if you're if you're someone that's like, I kind of, I'm decent with money, but you're wanting to take it to the next level, that's what this is. That's how it's going to take you to the next level. So this is education, this is planning, and this is implementation, all in this program. We are also doing something, him and I are working on it right now. It's education and it's training on their virtual system. So we have it right now. And I want you guys to still do this if you purchase the program. You're going to need to do it by hand. You're budgeting, like here, enter these numbers. But what's great is that this program, when we launch it to you guys, you will actually be able to tie in your accounts and it'll automatically manage your money for you, and you can see it and stuff, and you have even more clarity, and you can integrate all of your accounts in one place versus I'm going to, look it up in here and I'm going to look it up in here. It integrates it all in this money platform. So, and it's a virtual platform, so you can take it wherever you go, which is great. That is not available yet, but it will be available. And that if you purchase it within, because this program will be live until next Friday before it closes down for a period, you will get it. So once that's available, I'll put the materials in the Dropbox and I'll email everyone that has purchased the program and I'll say, hey, that training is now available. I've also created a training on all the financial terminology that you can possibly need, because in order to grow and be able to budget, you need to be educated. So when you go to someone, you can articulate what it is you need. You're like, I need a money market account. I need a 401k. So within that program, it actually like I walk you through. The only thing is it's not up there yet because I just need to record it. So it's a PowerPoint, but I'm going to record and talk to you guys so you can take notes and know what to go and take to someone. So that is the program. It is available and it's a one-time fee and you get all of that. It is available until next Friday. The minute you purchase the program, I get you in touch with Michael and you guys can actually strategize. But what's great is you have the sheets before, and those 3 sheets are already in there. The workbook is coming tonight. I'm having him look over it to see if he wants to add anything else, because we got together multiple times and I was like, okay, I want to make sure that all of your clients' issues are being addressed in this, as well as what I know and I understand. So we worked together on this whole program and I put it together for you guys because I wanted it to be the most valuable possible. This isn't some fluff program that I'm like, here's a savings account, go start saving today. No, this is like the psychology, this is behavioral, this is habitual, this is action oriented. And it was so important for me to put together an impact-based program so that when you guys going forward, whatever it is you desire in life, you can leverage yourself in order to get that. So this whole living paycheck to paycheck, this whole struggling to make ends meet, working at a dead-end job that you absolutely hate, that will be no more once you implement these things. And I think that covers it all. I'm pretty sure. I talked a lot. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and I'm going to look over my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything with you guys and any like little tidbits that I wanted to include. Oh, and in there I'll be talking about home ownership too, because that's a big thing. And then the different life insurance mechanisms. I don't sell life insurance, but there's different things to look into, because a lot of times people will go to someone and be like, I need life insurance. And then they're sold the cheapest thing, which might not be the thing that they're actually needing. And so we'll talk about the differences between the life insurance mechanisms. So does anyone have any questions? This program has been about a year of my heart and soul though. And I took all of my education, all of my knowledge. I went and did tons of research on the psychology of money and what it means and our behavior and our habits around money. And it was really enlightening to see why people feel the certain ways about money and how to alter and adjust those. And just by little tweaks, it's kind of amazing because the little tweaks that we make can make all the difference. And how we leverage our lives. it doesn't mean that tomorrow you're going to be a millionaire, but it means that tomorrow you're going to be on the right path for that financial freedom, for that longevity of your goals, and actually start working on them today. So once you purchase the program, you automatically get the spreadsheets. The workbook will be available tonight that you'll be able to download, and I'll send an email of anyone that's already purchased it, so you'll be able to download that. And then the presentation will be available on Sunday, because I don't think I will be able to record it tomorrow since it's 4th of July, but I'll record it Sunday morning and get it up on there for you guys. It's all included though. So if you purchase it, you're going to get it. And then you have access to the link for life in order to use it whenever you need. So the education, you could be like, oh, what was that? What was that I'm trying to articulate to someone, to a professional? You can go back and look in the presentation and see what that is. So I believe in this wholeheartedly. I have taken all of my education, all of my experience, and put it into this program. And I think especially for those that like are at the end of their rope financially, especially right now, needing and understanding how to leverage yourself when you don't know how long you're going to be in business, when you don't know when your employer is going to close their doors. This is the most important thing, so you can survive through these difficult times. So let me know if you guys need anything. Watch this replay. There was a ton packed into it. This was a big, big seminar, and I wanted to give you guys as much as I possibly could without overloading your whole system. So rewatch the myths, rewatch your action forward, and you definitely need it. It has everything. I will articulate to you guys, I've had some people come with other programs and come and tell me, I didn't get this component. Was this included? And a lot of times that's why in the Kick the Clutter program, I'm including other things, because I'm like, you know what? I felt like that should have been included. So don't feel like if you're getting a program and it doesn't meet your expectations, come tell me. Come tell me and say, is that included? And we're like, oh, okay. Well, if you're coming to me and saying, well, this doesn't tell me how to manage my business. Okay, no, that would be something different. And I would tell you guys that. But my most important thing is making sure you guys are feeling like you're getting the value of what you're paying for. And that is what that's my impact, and that's my passion. And this program has every tool needed in order to execute that, at least to get you on the right road forward. And then the 3 months, like when he told me that, he's like, include 3 months. I want to include 3 months for your clients and everything. And I'm like, what? This is like huge. Like, this is a lot of money. And he's like, yeah, I want to help people get on the right foot too, like you're doing. So I was really excited about it. I want everyone to be a part of this. It is an investment because I'm wanting to ensure that you're wanting to do the work and not, okay, I'm going to say this, and stop bitching about it, right? You're like, I'm so broke, but I don't want to do anything about it. This is for people. Yes, it is a small investment, but everything you're getting, it's going to equate to your financial freedom and your financial happiness and really the things you want. Like, we're saving, like we're paying down debt and saving for a freaking cocktail pool. Like, I want a cocktail pool in my backyard. Matt thinks I'm insane, but these things I want, in addition to saving for a cabin. Like, if you guys personally follow me, you're all of a sudden going to see like things, like we're just getting things now, and they're going to be like, oh my God, they're swimming in debt. No, we planned for this. We leveraged our money and made it work for us. So, and I want you guys to too. I'm really excited. Let me know if you have any questions. This program is available till next Friday, but people that purchase this weekend, I'm going to throw on some little extra bonuses for you. So let me know if you have any questions. Let's get going.